And the Jazz start out with the ball. Let's check out Sacramento's starting lineup. And then it's Collins with the dunk.
A growing aspect of George's game. He's working to become a strong facilitator.
Here's Robertson. George defending. To the middle. Here's Weber. And he throws it down with one hand.
Hey, when in doubt, run the defender off the screen.
And you know, with a result like that, we'll see them run it again.
Especially if the defense is going to allow you to do it. You have to switch on that play.
George scanning the floor. He buries it from three.
And there's a nice rhythm to his three-point shot. You know, George has a confident stroke.
Here's Richmond. Check by Sexton. And looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
So difficult to stay planted, especially with all the motion around you. Annoying turnover.
Here's Markkanen. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
One of the surprises with Markkanen is how physical he can be. He's willing to mix it up.
Here's Robertson. George defending. Pass to Weber. With nobody on him, he buries that jumper.
Now, you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
And we know once he gets in the rhythm, he's a really tough guy to stop.
Now here's George. And here's Sexton. The three ball. Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
When Colin Sexton likes a look, he takes it, even when it's from range.
Here's Robertson. George defending. Pass to Richmond. Puts it up from 15. It's rebounded by Hendricks.
High percentage look for him. But bottom line, they're not all going to go down.
Sexton, that's good.
Wow, guys, Colin Sexton with the crazy dribble move.
Here's Robertson. George defending. Here's Richmond from behind the arc. And the three-pointer goes.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Reason why it takes extra energy to do it. You have to trust your defensive rotations, but it's worth it.
Now here's George. Inside, here's Hendricks, and he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
And he's been an ideal teammate tonight. He's really creating plenty of looks with his passing.
There's been an emphasis on ball movement, and he's been a major catalyst.
Pass to Richmond. Fires for three. The rebound by Markkanen.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Here's Hendricks. Outside Sexton. Going all the way to the rack for the finish. And the big dunk at the end of the break.
Talk about taking advantage of the opportunity.
How about the anticipation right there that led to the steal? Then he goes straight to the bucket.
Great activity at both ends. Great teamwork as well.
Here's Hendricks. Pass to Markkanen. Two shots, two makes. Off to a good start.
Easy shot for Markkanen. Has the height to shoot over anyone from that mid-range area.
Here's Robertson. From down in the low post, it goes.
Man, I'll tell you, when you get your floater game going, it's a tremendous weapon.
George outside. Pass to Collins. Back to George. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Markkanen. And the Jazz tack on 2 more.
High offensive IQ. He makes great reads and adjustments on the fly.
Here's Richmond. Launches it. Gets it to drop. Now 2 of 4.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Jazz. 4-point game. Collins passes to George. Markkanen outside. The three from Sexton. Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
This is what they like about Markkanen. He will make the next pass when the defense overplays him.
Timeout call with the Kings.
Let's give Coach credit. He's trying to find a way to squeeze the most out of every possession.
Critical part of the game. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to adjust what you're doing.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. We've got 1:13 left in the first quarter. Here's Richmond. Three-pointer, no good.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Back to Dunn. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup.
One of the stronger point guards we have, Chris Dunn, often does his best work in the paint.
Here's Archibald. Here's Cousins. And he lobs it up. And the ball out of play. The Jazz will have it.
You want unselfishness, but you also need to keep it under control.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Kings. 46 seconds left in the opening quarter. Clarkson outside. And they pick up two.
And early on, they've been on a tear. Just getting whatever they want offensively.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
Now here's Johnson. Oh, he can't stop the run as that misses. Clarkson outside. Pass to Yurtseven. To the middle. Here's Dunn. And he makes it on the layup.
The offensive game plan is clear. Get it inside and go to work.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
With the explosive leaping ability, he's able to play center despite being undersized.
Clarkson for three. It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
What a huge shot to beat the buzzer. My goodness.
He had to rush that one a little, but terrific stroke from range.
What? And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. All right, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Right now, it's their passing game, and it's been on point. Doing a great job of moving it around and getting the ball to their shooters.
And what's more, they're getting their feet wet down there in the paint early on. Not shying away at all, taking it inside. What a great way to start.
On the court for the Kings, second quarter underway.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
The problem is your opponent is making big plays as well. I'll be curious to see the response.
Here's Markkanen after the Kings picked up a basket a moment ago. Hendricks. And the shot's good. Hendricks has gotten his second bucket of the game.
Like a matador. Olé! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there. This is what you do when your opponent's trying to take away the three and the painted area.
They set the pick to the inside. Outside for Sexton. Markkanen outside. Pass to George from 9 feet. And the Jazz tack on two more.
Just a gutsy play by George inside, finding the close range look.
And just about a minute and a half has passed here in the second quarter. And it's rejected. Here's Collins. And the Jazz tack on two more.
No matter where he is on the floor, Collins seems to invite contact.
Birdsong, pass to Archibald. Shoots over George. Rebound, Utah. Collins outside. Kicks it out to Markkanen for three. And again, it's Utah with a three.
Anytime you can set up marketing off the catch, you have a good chance of coming away with points.
And the call will be against John Collins. That's his first foul. So the Kings making a change here.
Into the Kings, Peja Stojakovic, Mitch Richmond.
Weber passes to Archibald. Clock at 6. Cousins with a screen on George. Puts up a deep three. Again, the miss by the Kings. Collins outside. Pass to Hendricks. Sexton with it. Here's Collins. And then it's Collins with the dunk.
And it hasn't just been their stellar offense. Their defense has been effective as well.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
The G League is continuing to be a laboratory, if you will, for new rule changes that eventually make it to the NBA, from the coach's challenge to take foul. Possibly up next, a target score for overtime instead of a running clock. It's been a popular change in the G League, and it eliminates multiple overtime games. Brian, it could make the jump.
I like it. It's worth a shot. Thanks, Allie.
They're simply not missing. Unreal.
Good shooting can be contagious. You see the confidence running through this team right now.
Now a timeout by Sacramento. And almost 4 minutes gone in the second quarter of play. Here's Richmond. He's covered by Clarkson. Shoots. The shot by Richmond, no good.
All alone from mid-range. You gotta think he's kicking himself.
Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
So confident in himself at the arc. Clarkson doesn't hold back.
Here's Robertson to the paint. Lets a floater go. And it's Cousins laying it in.
That's a well-timed, well-coordinated play. Comes right off the pick for the lay-in.
Dunn outside. Down low. Here's your 7. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
What I like is when Chris Dunn keeps his poise, keeps his eyes up, good things happen.
Pass to Stojakovic. Right wing. There's the 3. He can't get that one to fall. On offense, here's Utah. They're on an 18-6 run. Here's 7. Passes to Dunn. To the inside. Now here's your 7. Dunn right side. Shot clock at 6. Your 7 a screen. And that one makes him 2 for 2. He's in his rhythm.
With Dunn, this is his focus. Keep the ball moving. Keep everyone involved.
Here's Robertson, defended by Dunn. Here's Richmond. Buries it from 3. Richmond's got 9.
You're leaving him all alone? Good luck. He's gonna drill that every time.
Now here's Dunn. Defense right on him. To the paint. Out left to the wing. Clarkson outside. Three-pointer. And again, it's Utah with a 3.
Ice cold answer from Jordan Clarkson. He knew he had it in him.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Pass to Richmond. And Sacramento again with the bucket. There's 14 seconds left in the second period. To the middle. Here's Dunn. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. Both teams deciding to change it up.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul. At the
We've seen real improvement from Chris Dunn at the free throw line. Used to be his Achilles heel.
Here's Richmond. The shot misses. And so it's Utah with a commanding lead to end the quarter. 27 points, looking good. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. Time for a quick break, then back to the action. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Jordan Clarkson. What a contribution.
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
We've got John Collins, George out there with Colin Sexton. Then it's Lauri Markkanen, and it's Hendricks in at the 4. And that's the group for Will Hardy as we begin the second half. And that's how you defend. He wasn't showing any mercy with that swat.
Oh, showing no signs of giving up this lead. That block sent shockwaves into the opposition sails.
Here's Robertson. George defending. Shot from the wing. Count that one. He has 6. And so it's Sexton who brings up the ball for the Utah Jazz. Pass to Markkanen. Ooh, he's locked in. Drains his 5th shot in as many attempts.
Quality pass by Sexton, taking full advantage of that opening.
Here's Robertson. George defending. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Robertson's shot is off. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Collins.
Yeah, not a smart move on that pass. Hopefully he'll learn from that.
Here's Robertson. He's got 6. Over George. Robertson's shot is off. They've done a great job of moving the ball tonight.
Yeah, B.A., keeping everybody involved keeps everyone engaged.
George finds Sexton. And here's Markkanen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds. Still Utah's ball.
It remains Utah ball.
Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the 3rd quarter. He drops it from range. On offense, here are the Kings. Here's Robertson. The shot by Richmond, no good. They have really been in control of this one.
You don't want to get complacent here.
Markkanen from long range. Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
Feeling it tonight. Markkanen has that scores gene. Once he gets on a roll, it looks effortless.
Here's Richmond to halt the run. And the layup is up and in. Weber's got 8.
Back in the day, someone would have blocked him out, but times have changed.
Outside Sexton. Back to George. The 3 is up. Drains the triple. Give him 8.
And the shooting skill across the board for this rookie is what makes Keyonte George so difficult to defend.
Here's Robertson. George defending. Sinks that one from the post.
He's doing what he can do to pull them closer, but it's not enough. He needs more help.
George passes to Markkanen. Here's Hendricks. Pass to George. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair.
And for a rookie, George is physically mature. He doesn't mind the contact at all.
So the Kings making a change here. And he makes both free throws. And here are the Kings now. Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. And Collins with the big block. Inside. Here's Markkanen. And the layup falls. Markkanen's got 19 points.
And they're refusing to take a break, even with a nice lead. They just continue to attack. You have to love it.
They've taken nothing for granted. You can see they're playing the moment rather than the score.
Here's Robertson. Give him 8. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And B.A., he takes his rebounding so seriously.
This dude is such a grinder. His teammates appreciate the effort. Just goes all out on the glass.
You know, this is one of his specialties, keeping plays alive, creating second chance opportunities.
Here in the second half, they've just found better shots.
For them, the first half was maybe more of a filling out process. Now it's winning time.
And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
Personal foul. First team foul.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Utah.
They are making it rain from the three-point land right now. And the coaching staff continues to encourage them to let it fly.
Yeah, another thing you notice are all the assists. The ball just has energy, and everyone is getting involved.
Here's George. He's got 10. And here are the Jazz. They're on a 17-7 run. Here's Hendricks. He gets it in there. Hendricks has got 6 points.
That's good planning, and that's good execution. And that's a great look.
Pass to Robertson. And there it is for him. He's got 11. They're enjoying a sizable lead.
And what I like, B.A., they haven't stopped pressing the issue.
Ball stolen. Back come the Kings in transition. Good, and that makes him 6 for 9. A quality game for him so far.
It all happened in an instant. Turning defense into offense. I love it.
That was great anticipation on the steal. A gamble that paid off.
It's never easy trying to stop Sexton. I love watching him bounce off the defense and finish in style.
Down low. Oh, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and a nasty jam.
He can really read the floor. Precision pass in rhythm.
Wow! Crazy good!
Next level stuff from John Collins on the dunk. Firing his guys up.
Collins has gone a perfect 6 for 6 shooting. 26 seconds left to play in the third quarter of basketball. And stolen by Markkanen. And now the Jazz on the run in transition. Kicks it to George. Pass to Collins. Back to George. Here's Hendricks. Outside Sexton. Markkanen left side. Takes the 3. Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
Just incredible. I mean, he's really making it rain out there, knocking them down one after another.
Yeah, the defense has allowed him to get into a rhythm from there, and he's been relentless.
And so it's Lauri Markkanen. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Woo, I'm fired up to see this dish one more time. It's always great to see your 2 guards share the wealth.
Very unselfish. If you appreciate teamwork, this is the kind of play that will get you up out of your seat.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Taking a look at Sacramento, Here's Collins. And Collins with the slam.
At Collins' size, it's impressive just how active he is, leading by example.
Floats one, and it's good on the lay-in.
Man, I'll tell you, when you get your floater game going, it's a tremendous weapon.
George with it. It's Markkanen on the wing. Outside Sexton. Off the mark there with a three. And so here's Sacramento. From deep, Richmond with the bucket. Richmond's got 5 points now this quarter.
How can you leave this guy that wide open? Please, that's terrible.
It's George on the wing. Pass to Collins. Tries to spin move. Hendricks no good.
Meeting right at the rim, he typically converts in those situations. Not this time.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Kicks it out to Markkanen. Let's go with a three. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist. George has got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Pass to Stojakovic. To the middle. Here's Archibald. Here's Stojakovic from the arc. Sexton grabs the board.
The defense got lucky there. That's one you expect him to drain.
Here's Markkanen. And he lays it up and in. Markkanen's got 27 points.
The focus is all there for Lauri Markkanen. The guy's a straight baller.
Oh, George with a steal. And here's the fast break. Throw it down on the breakaway jam.
What a two-way play. Just tremendous.
Yeah, the steal was slick. The slam topped it off.
Turning defense into offense. Every coach talks about it. Perfect example right there.
Another basket. He's now 6 for 7 in the contest.
Finding the close range finish. Sexton working hard for the bucket.
Pass to Stojakovic. Out to the right wing. Here's Richmond. Checked by Sexton. A shot to stop the run. Richmond with the bucket. 20 points for him.
So good at the rim. A slow defensive rotation leads to the easy lay.
George outside. Collins a screen. And he lobs it up to the rim.
It's been John Collins' night, taking his productivity into overdrive.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Here's Archibald. On the take. Banked it in off the glass.
Beautiful call that time up the floor. The hard screen frees him up for the bunny.
George outside. To the paint. Cuts off the pass. Here's Stojakovic. And stolen by Sexton.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Collins outside. Pass to Hendricks. And there's a pick. Oh, it's stolen away. Tipped away. Here's Sexton. He gets it. He's 7 for 8 and really going at him out there.
I like that. Collins playing under control, reading the floor. Nice setup there.
To the inside. Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. Markkanen outside. Pass to Hendricks. To the paint. Shot from the low block. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. So both teams making some changes here. That's good from George.
And there's no question George can fill it up. For him, it's about focusing on shooting good percentages.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Done. He's checked in for George. 1:10 left in the fourth. Here's Lucas. He's covered by Kessler. Pass to Richmond from outside the arc. Rebounded by the Jazz. Outside Horton Tucker. Now here's Clarkson. From downtown, Weber pulls it in. Here's Richmond. Misses in close. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Horton Tucker. Sinks the tray.
This has to feel good. They gave their fans a show and secured the W.
They're going to win by a nice margin. The effort was there all night.
Pass to Robertson. Misses there. And so it's Utah easily grabbing this one. They didn't have too many problems tonight.
They didn't. Just a tremendous team effort. Once they had that big lead, they were not going to let the visitors back into the game.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, I'm Brian A.